Hey, this is Tony with Bop It Business Spotlight Channel, and I'm here with Craig Massey, who is the Communications Manager for the New Mexico Farm and Ranch Heritage Museum. How are you doing today, Craig?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me, Tony.
Great, excellent. So tell me a little bit about the New Mexico Farm and Ranch Heritage Museum for our listeners.
Well, the museum opened about 20 years ago, and we're a state museum in Las Cruces that's on the southeastern edge of town, and it's a big place. It's 47 acres, and we have livestock, we have barns, corrals, greenhouse, a lot of indoor exhibit space. So it's a big interactive museum with a lot for people to see and do.
Okay, so what else does the Farm and Ranch Museum do? Obviously, it discusses the area and what the ranch and farming community is all about. But are there some other things that the Ranch and Heritage Museum does for the community?
Yeah. First of all, our story is interesting because New Mexico has a really long history of growing food. So, I mean, it goes back at least 4,000 years. We have evidence of people planting their own crops and harvesting. So, and when you figure in the cultures, the different cultures that New Mexico has, it's a great story, and we really enjoy telling it. But we're a history museum, and we're an education museum, and we are a food museum, and so we do a little bit of that. We try to help with the community as well, and we love being a part of Las Cruces, and we're the only state museum in town and the only accredited museum in town, so it's a really interesting place, I think.
Okay, I know that you guys also are involved with a bunch of events that happen throughout the year. Can you explain a little bit about those?
Yes, the museum has its own annual events. We have, starting in January, we have Antique Treasure Show in late January each year. We have Cowboy Days every March. We have Blessing of the Fields each May on May 15th. We have Ice Cream Sunday on the third Sunday in July each year. And then we have a Community Appreciation Day in usually the last Saturday in August. And then we have our Homegrown Food Show in November, the weekend before Thanksgiving. So these are our big annual events. And then there's also other groups that have events here. They rent the facility. They work through the catering contractor to have different events. So there's something here usually every weekend.
When did the New Mexico Farm and Ranch Heritage Museum get started, and what is your background?
Okay, the museum was first being talked about in the 1970s. And, through some ranchers and farmers were talking to some government officials, and it took a while. The bill, I believe, passed in 1991. They started building this structure in 1996. Finished in 97, and the museum opened in 1998. And I've been working here since 1999, so I came right after it opened. And my background is I grew up in eastern New Mexico on a wheat farm, and worked at the Sun News, the newspaper here in Las Cruces, for about 11 years before I made my way out to the museum.
Okay, excellent. Now, Las Cruces obviously is an up-and-coming town, and there's a lot of folks that are transient that come here to visit for a number of different reasons, probably primarily NMSU for their kids and stuff. Tell our listeners, why is it important for them to go and visit or come in here and to visit the New Mexico Farm and Ranch and Heritage Museum?
Well, whether you want to be entertained or you want to learn something, I think Las Cruces has a lot to offer. When I was growing up, we didn't go to museums. They were just objects, dusty artifact objects in galleries. But it's not really like that anymore. There's all of the museums in Las Cruces. The city museum's the one at MSU, and then this one. We have activities. We have stuff for children to do. We have interactive things. I just think it's fun and interesting. And whether you're going to Mesilla or you're going to hike the Oregon Mountains, there's a lot for people to do in Las Cruces, and we're glad to be a part of it.
Excellent. So finally, how can people get in touch with the Farm and Ranch Heritage Museum as far as websites, phone numbers, as well as what is the cost to come to the museum as well?
We can be reached at 575-522-4100. Our website is nmfarmandranchmuseum.org, all written out. We have an active presence on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, so you can find us there and sort of follow along what we're doing. And then the admission fees are $5 for adults, $4 for senior citizens, and $3 for children ages 5 to 17, and 4 and under are free. And we have a discount for veterans as well. It's $2.
Excellent. So yeah, I have been to this facility, this museum. It is beautiful inside and outside. There's a bunch of exhibits that going on as far as art inside, as well as tractors, equipment, even animals in outside. So I encourage everybody who is listening to this Business Spotlight to come out here and support the New Mexico Farm and Ranch and Heritage Museum and come and take a look at it. It's at 4100 Dripping Springs Road here in Las Cruces, 88011. Again, the phone number is 575-522-4100. Thank you so much, Craig. I do appreciate you taking the time to interview with us.
Thanks, Tony. Appreciate being here.
Okay, and this is Tony with Bop It Business Spotlight channel. Thank you for listening.